This is not financial advice. I just hope you bought your oven mitts, baby, because it's about to get hot in the kitchen. Now, don't invest in companies you don't understand and don't believe in, because if they dip, Ric Flair, baby, woo, you're not going to buy the dip, and then you're going to sell low and be right back here crying to me, and I'm not having that. So if you can't do the heat of these hot stocks, then stay out of the kitchen and consider investing in index funds. But I got to say this, family. This episode is brought to you by the Stock Squad Patreon. Go and join the Stock Squad Patreon so you can be a part of the plays before they run. We recently got into one, which is called the SPY, and this is a call option, and I'll walk you through it step by step, the 536 strike. And if you actually held on to this, you would have made more than the $200 that I made in this play, because SPY has reached over $540. And this is just me. I'm talking about, we got stocks with Josh in there, we got Stock Mo in there, and Larry Jones. Go and sign up today, and I will see you over there. So much more to offer. But you know what? We got to talk about a few things. And the first thing I want you to see, in fact, is that we had the CPI data. And I got a question for you, everybody in the chat. Yes or no? Do you believe that inflation has actually come down even a smidge? So it says that we have come down from about 3.3% to about 3.4 to about 3.3. And why is this important? When you look at Jerome Powell and the rest of the Federal Reserve, you're going to see that they say that they might cut the rates one time this year, perhaps, but in 2025, we might get about not one, not two, not three, but potentially 4 rate cuts. And here go those receipts right here. Look at this, 2025, implying an additional 0.25% rate cut. So maybe a whole percentage rate cut next year. So the first person I want to ask about this is actually Stocks with Josh. Josh, what do you think about CPI, inflation, and rate cuts going on as we see it now?
Well, my take on the day and everything that I processed was it's the dot plot that's telling the truth, and the Fed that is telling lies. How can you have more than half of the Feds, which get a vote and a say, be for no cut at all or just one cut in 2024? And the inflation rate is coming down and cooling off. Why would they be so hawkish? Well, the only thing that I can guess, Keenan and Larry and Mo, is that they've got more data than us. They've got more data. And what they're seeing is a strong economy. And they see NVIDIA hitting all-time highs and a stock split. They see Apple finally joining the AI party. Opportunity, opportunity, opportunity. And so they're saying that we got to keep our foot on the brake. Now, either the Fed's lying, inflation's lying, or that dot plot is lying. But it seems like there's more chiefs across the country saying that the economy's too strong and needs a bigger break. And that's the message that I believe at the moment. I just don't think that interest rate is the truth right now.
Thank you for that. And everybody in the chat, what I want to ask you is, can you take a second and do 2 things for me? The first thing I want you to do is actually hit the like button. But before you press the like, look at the number right before you hit, so then you can tell me which number you are. So I can see that we have 172, so I'm going to go be 173. And then type in 173 in the chat so I know which like you were. I appreciate you for that, family. For real, for real, for real. Larry Jones, what do you feel about the overall economy and the inflation data? Do you think that this is bullish for the market, bearish, or do you think it could be either way?
Well, the indices showed us what it really thought about it, and we will really see tomorrow, because it takes a little time for the Dow, the Nasdaq, and the S&P to really reflect, and our stock to really reflect what it truly thinks about CPI. It's like the White House is going to come out and they're going to taunt, inflation is good, jobs are strong, got a strong economy, and the Fed is supposed to be non-political. We got gas dropping all of a sudden. To be honest with you, I think that Powell is doing a good job jawboning, meaning he's using his mouth to affect interest rates, but I don't 100% believe the data that they presented. I'll leave it at that.
Mo, How about you? Do you believe that this interest rate information is bullish? CPI, is it bullish? Is it bearish? What's going on? How do you see this?
Oh, come on, man. We got history. Keenan. I like the Ric Flair, but the Macho Man Randy Savage, man. You can't forget about him either. I'm loving the intro. I appreciate you having me on. I love having the stock squad together. Man, what a day today. Seriously, so much stuff going on. You're asking me about the Fed rates, and there's so much to digest here. It's like a buffet at Bonanza. We can't help but go up for fourths and fifths. Here's what I think. Every time, and let's just put it to history. This is not the first time the Fed has changed their tune. Every time they change their tune, it's because unemployment still is solid. The economy is still rolling up. They called for 6 rate cuts in 2024. We're down to 1 with 4 members saying 0. Now they went from 6 rate cuts from 2024 and 2025 combined down to 5. They got rid of 1. So put it all together. What does it mean? It's the same thing it's been meaning for about 18 months. The market's going to go higher. Until the market and the economy start to stumble, the Fed's going to stay pat. You're going to see money going into the market. Stocks are going to go higher, and we're self-high-fiving. That's what it's about.
So what a lot of people don't know about the market when they actually do lower the interest rates, and I want to just give you a bit of a graph here, and you can't really see the information on it per se, but you can see the colors. Green, I'm talking about the market is going up, right? The interest rates are high, the market and the economy is good, but when they are lowering the rates, it's often a sign of the economy being weak, and the rates need to be lower so they don't cause a recession by accident, right? We shall see. But notice that when the rates are lower, what this is going to indicate is that the Fed sees that the market is going to need some help, that the economy is going to need some help in the future. So they don't want to hold on too long. And the reason this is interesting, I think, is because we are much better off, believe it or not, hearing higher for longer again and again and again. Now you might be thinking, why? The reason for that is consistency. What is the market not like? FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Whenever you get something new, now we have to adapt. But I had ran some call options like I was telling you in the beginning of the show. Why did I do that? Because they keep saying higher for longer. And as long as they keep things the same, I don't have to worry about how to adapt because it's just the same old again. And Larry had made a video that was for the Patreon only, and he was kind of reiterating the same thing. And he said, I won't spill all of the beans because Larry was dropping some gems in there. But he was saying, this is what I've been doing for the last, Larry, how many times was it?
14 FOMC meetings, which they're just so we'll know, there are only 8 FOMC meetings per year. But I've been doing this for the last 14, making bank every time.
Making bank every single time. Why? Because they just been kind of reiterating the same things. And when they are predictable, that's when you use the trends. Like we talk about with Josh, the trends are your friend. Josh is the master at charting. What is Josh looking for at the end of the day? He's looking for a trend to continue or a trend to break. Josh, can you speak on some of the technicals with the overall market?
Yeah, no, first of all, you're 100% right. You know, the 4 disciplines, the first one is to trade the trend. And the reason why it's a discipline, Keenan, is if you clock a loss, you got to go back and you've got to do some evaluating. Was I going with the trend? Why did I think the trend had changed? We are not in a changed trend. We are in an uptrend. 100% unequivocal. We hit a new high this week, guys. How can anybody be buying the SQQQ with confidence? We hit a new high this week with all of this drama and all of this data. So you should be taking bets to the upside. On the SPY, we're above the 200-day moving average. Classic gauge for when you should be bullish, right? Everything is pointing to a bullish trend. Now, that's the positive. We got to keep an eye on the bear. The other day, Keenan, I posted a video of a bear at a park, and there was like 20 people got out of their cars and were literally walking up within 2 feet trying to take a selfie with the bear. And somebody had narrated the bear's voice kind of saying, what, have I lost my intimidation? Have I lost my, my mojo? And that's the way I view the market. People are getting out of their car and they're getting pretty confident. Like, they're not afraid of bears. They haven't been hurt by a bear. Nobody in their family ever got bit by a bear. But I will tell you that bear attack and that bear mauling is going to come, and then you're going to remember it for the rest of your life. But we don't have it yet. We're in the take a selfie with the bear stage. We're in the very, very comfortable, because the market's been going up and there has been no teeth bites for a long time. But as far as a technical warning, Keenan, we have what's called bearish divergence in the S&P 500, and it's exactly the same as we had when we were hitting a market high in 2021, before we had that 2022 year that absolutely wrecked a ton of people. That's when some stocks fell off the cliff and went down 80-90%. Now we're seeing that same bearish divergence, but the trend is still up. We're still above the 200-day moving average, which means that your risk positions should be looking to be going long. Now, having said that, I got a sell signal on the 1 hour chart on the SPX today at close. So I do think tomorrow we're going to see some digestion, like Larry's saying, and I think we're going to have a little comeback because we just made a new high this week. So let's let the market digest that. The overall trend, I'm calling it up until we hit 5,500 on the S&P.
Okay, and you know what? Thank you for that. And I want to say, everybody, thank you so much. We got the likes way, way up. We're at 400 already. Could we get it to 600? I'm trying to get a call option for 600 likes. 600 likes in the next 4 minutes. Let's get me there. Let's put my call option in the money. So I want to say this, because I just got a comment from Kieran. If I'm saying your name incorrectly, no disrespect. I've just never heard it said out loud. But they said that RK sell. So family, in the chat, yes or no? Have you ever made money with GameStop? Have you ever made money with GameStop? Let me know, yes or no. The answer for me is a big, resounding yes. Josh, what do you have to say?
Yeah, GameStop, we were very confident. I would just speak for Larry and I, because we did a couple videos together on this subject. After we got the first pump, here's some of the things we broke down for people on the channel. One, we told them, hey, isn't this amazing that the meme stocks that took off last time took off in the last month of 2021 when the S&P 500 was hitting its high? Here we are. We've been running up for a year and a half, and lo and behold, the meme stocks come out of nowhere. Now, I believed that the minute we saw that pump from GME, AMC, FFIE followed, I knew that we weren't just going to get one pump and be done. I just did not think that was happening. And so we then did some charting. I made the call on GME, safest buy 18. I said you could begin to look at considering a buy at 24, safest buy at 18. We will hit $40 again. We did. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you guys. In general, the chart actually is leaning bullish. We are not seeing capitulation. So it does appear to me that there's the opportunity to climb. So I'm going to say that at the moment, I'm not going to give GME a thumbs down. I'm not going to say that the move is over. I would say that it's somewhere between a thumbs up and a neutral. We're like right about here with GME. And so it's just a story to be watching. If it's not super clear, then put a stop loss in, protect some of your capital.
Yeah.
Hey, Josh.
Hey,
The last time that we talked about GameStop, I told you a story about the older guy who told me that he put $6,000 on Jimmy.
Yes.
Right? And he said, what? I was like, Jimmy, what is Jimmy? And he said, oh, GME. That's what he was talking about. He didn't even know what GameStop was. He just put $6,000 on it because he heard about it. So then I actually went out and I had bought a little water gun because I wanted to say, hey, yo, cool it, right? I wanted them to cool it down. So then we kind of got a running joke on my channel with the little water gun. So if somebody's being a little too hot, it's time to just cool them down just a tad bit. So my people in the chat, don't make me pull up on you with this thing right here. I will cool you down with it. Now, wait. All of that to say,
can I jump in real quick? So I just started saying on my page. Like Keenan with the notebook giving you the bop bop bop. Are you telling me you're now transitioning to the
He done got violent.
No. We listen. You know how back in the day they had the sword and they had
Yeah.
the shield, right?
Okay.
So this is my sword and this is
Okay.
my shield. So I might have to still hit you with the bop bop bop, but then if it gets a little hot, I can still got to cool you off a little bit. We might get a little
Well,
violent over here, but we keep it PG, right? We keep it
Right,
PG.
right,
I
PG.
want to confuse anyone. I'm a black man. I had to go find one that had a green handle and one that had
Right.
blue.
Come on.
Oh
But okay,
my.
now with that being said, and my people, we just joking, right? We just joking
Right,
around.
right. That's the way
But
we get down.
I wanted to show everyone this. So you may know Keith Gill, aka Roaring Kitty. So he's the guy, for those of you who are new here, you never heard about GameStop or anything like that. He turned a $50,000 investment into a $50 million investment, disappeared for like 3 years, came back, and this dude got $500 million because he was still playing GameStop. He was playing the calls, he was playing the stock. Now he's up to $5 million in stock and like $200 million in like calls, right? So it's very volatile. And the news is talking about how they're trying to spread that fear, uncertainty, and doubt. It doesn't mean that it's true, but they're asking, did Roaring Kitty sell his options? And this is what the strategists are saying. And I just read it verbatim. This is from Reuters, right? Reuters is one of the most reputable sources, like Bloomberg, when it comes to stock market news. And they're posting this on the front page. And it says, Roaring Kitty may have cut his GameStop options position, strategist says, right? So they're not even claiming that it's true. They're just posting this because, again, remember, there's a lot of institutions and hedge funds behind all of this stuff. So when you see stuff like this, remember, retail investors, they don't want to get burned like they got burned last time. They want to get in, they want to get up, and want to get out. There are some people who are holding long term, though. So I show you this to say, let's go and actually look at GameStop so people could see. And my people who hold AMC, which I'm still holding AMC in protest of market fairness, GameStop and AMC technically are not the same. And I want to just show you something that people won't show you. So let's look at this. GameStop is currently $25. Remember, GameStop and AMC, they split a few times. But when we go back pre all of the GameStop mania in 2021, GameStop used to be $3. Even accounting for the split, it is now up significantly to $25. So all of that GameStop stuff that happened, they are still way up. Now, AMC is different because it didn't actually happen this way. The hedge funds and everybody else against it are actually really winning this time in terms of AMC. Before all of this stuff, AMC was about $12, and today it's $4. So GameStop is actually up from then, and AMC is actually down from then. People don't tell you these things because they just want you to just be all in and have no information. But I just give you this information because I feel like you deserve the truth and deserve to know. So I say that to say, if you are trading AMC or GameStop, make sure that you understand, are you in it for the protest with money you're willing to lose, or are you trading it to get in, get up, and get out? You gotta know who you are, or else you're gonna get burned. And then I gotta pull this out and cool you off, right? So I say all of that to say, Mo, what do you know about GameStop? Because I've been seeing a lot of Stock Mo videos about GameStop lately, and I want a summary, man. I want a summary.
You got it, baby. Let's go. Fire up the oven. We're gonna pull some lows out of this. Look,
my
at the
call
end of the
live
day,
show hit 600 likes. Let's go.
No, I got the over 1,000. I put on my kid's college fund, and we need to get this because he needs to go more than just a couple of days. Let's go, family. Get it above 1,000. Let's do it. Let me tell you about GameStop. Let me just hit you with facts, straight, quick, right to the point. You're gonna have all the people putting millions and billions, pulling every string they can to go ahead and get every outlet out there that can push news to push the news that benefits them. This isn't new. We know it's coming. Here's the truth. Is he going to have to exercise, sell the options, or let them expire worthless before June 21st? Yes. Here's an idea. If he did start to exercise them today, I read the same report. They also stated that, hey, look, he may have just raised enough cash he sold the options. He could exercise the rest and absolutely start to cause a little bit of a short squeeze as they go out and get that liquidity crunch trying to find those shares everywhere. So I would say if he did, and he has a plan such as, I need to raise some cash so I can exercise the rest and force people to buy him on the open market so my other shares go higher, which is a good plan, Roaring Kitty. Hope you're listening. Then you have a chance of one final push up. But let me sprinkle this little unicorn dust fart and Skittles on you here, Keenan. Citron bowed out today. In case you didn't hear, the old Citron, they got burnt the first time around, came in, got in again, have just announced just a little bit ago they are bowing out. They respect the irrationality of the market, and they got out again. So that's 2 for 2 for Roaring Kitty against Citron.
And I actually love to hear that. And I tell you, Citron, and I told you guys, Andrew left, and these guys, it's like they never learn. They had to get burned again to learn this time, and then they said that they'll jump back in if it hits 45. So that's
you need to hit him with that squirt gun, Keenan. Andrew
left
needs that squirt gun. Pull him down.
Come on, man. Right. Andrew left.
Yeah.
Come on, dude.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, YouTube is going to take me now. YouTube, relax. It's green on the handle, and it's blue right here.
Right.
Relax. So, all right. So I like to say, I'm glad that everybody is making money. I've seen a lot of people say they made a lot of money with GameStop. I see a lot of people say they made a lot of money in SPY. And I've actually seen a few people say that they didn't make any money at all today. If you didn't make any money at all today, it means you do not have any long-term stocks, because basically all of them are up. So you got to make sure that you are building out that foundation and not just holding on to just trades, right? Everything can't just be a trade. Your long-term portfolio got to be up. And if not, your cash position should be up, because you should have your money in something that's earning interest. So you got to be making money somehow, some way. And I actually heard a point, and this was from CNBC, and I had talked about it on my live stream. And it was about how there are some inflationary aspects to rate hikes. So remember this, the rich always find a way to get richer. They always find a way. So how are the rich using interest rate hikes to get richer? Well, when you go and get a CD or you put your money in a high yield savings account, that's going to make you richer. So the cash that I had sitting, listen to me, I'm earning $1,300 a month from cash that I have sitting. My other cash is invested, but the amount of cash that I have sitting is earning me $1,300 a month. That's the most passive income that I am earning. But again, people who are good with money, they always find a way to make money. Inflation is kicking other people in the rear end, but I said, these interest rates going up, I should get a high yield savings account. I should put some money in a CD. This is how we got to think, so that we can say, I know there are the majority of people who are getting cooked, but how are others actually using this to make some money? And speaking of making money, let's go and take a look at Tesla stock, which we just killed that with a call option as well, up 67%. Tesla is currently $177 at the time of this recording. And when I see what's going on with it, what's the major thing? Elon Musk and his pay package, right? He's supposed to get paid over $50 billion for hitting a mark that they told him that he should hit in about 2018. And let's just read it. This is the Washington Post. Elon Musk's future at Tesla hangs on the shareholders' pay package vote. This is what they think. But then you can see New York Times posting about it, AP News posting about it, Reuters posting about it, Barron's posting about it. If they vote for Elon Musk to get this pay, then we might see a really drastic move in Tesla stock. But who started to block it in the first place? I want to put a face and a name to this so that you can see it. Who is Kathleen McCormick? She's the judge who slashed Elon Musk's pay package in Delaware. So now you get to see the face and the person who is behind all of this stuff. So if we make a lot of money behind Tesla, it's going to be in spite of this woman right here. I'm just saying. Josh, or actually Larry, do you have anything to say about your thoughts on Tesla and its pay package stuff? Because I seen you say something in the chat, and I just want to reiterate that. And it's pay the man. Pay the man. Get that man paid, man. He's doing what he's supposed to do.
Pay that man. So, I don't have a lot of voice, so I had to sound like one of the old wrestlers. Oh, brother. So listen, Josh, you don't know nothing about that. You don't know nothing about the high flyers. You don't know nothing about that. Dick the Bruiser. You don't know nothing about that, Josh. Yeah. But anyway, listen, I do have something to say about GME, but You know, let me say Tesla. It's simple. I've been in sales, okay? I've been in thousands of homes. And if you're listening right now live and you've been in sales, put a 1 in the chat. I guarantee you, if you've been in sales, you hit your numbers and then they move the goalposts, right? Then you hit your numbers again. Then they keep moving the goalposts because you killing it. I don't care how much it is. It was agreed upon. The man hit his mark, pay the man. I asked the question, right? Over 85% of the people simply said, retail investors said, pay the man. Because if you want his attention, give him what he is owed. Even the good book says, muzzle not the ox that treads the corn. Meaning, if you work them, pay them. That's all I got to say about that. Can I say my GME comment, Keenan?
Absolutely.
Or you want me to stay
Absolutely.
here? All right,
Absolutely.
here's
Go for
GME. Here's GME right here. Last night, look at that. That was in the Patreon last night. I literally said, low risk, I'm buying some stock in GME last night, right? So I do that in one, and I had 3 times that much in another portfolio that I can put a trailing stop loss on. That's the way I do. That's my thing, right? So just literally overnight, I made what? It was like $1,000, $1,100 just overnight. Popped it this morning, right? Put a stop loss on it. Low risk, no options risk or anything. And I'm not, poo-hooing on anybody that has it. What I got to say in 1 minute is this. It's funny when the average American, this dude was living in his mom's basement. Remember? You saw the movie, okay? For someone to come from there and win. Now his trading platform wants to kick him off. Now the SEC wants to do an investigation on him. They don't do it for the other big guys that do all this kind of naked shorts. They do every kind of thing, underhanded thing you can think of, right? But when one of us start to make serious money, then it's a problem, right? You gotta see what's going on. Now he's the bad guy. Now, oh, look at him. I've heard it from CNBC, Fox Business, Yahoo. Oh, this guy's a clown. This guy's a clown. Well, that clown has got $500 million. I want you to realize that the cards are stacked against us, but we are dumb money woke. Go ahead.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Josh, I'm going to pull
Yeah,
you
just
up. What do you got?
Well, let's just talk about Tesla for a moment. I think that we all understand this, but I'm just going to reiterate it. The fact is, the price, once we came up off the bottom at 140, we came up and hit a ceiling at 200, right? Now, the only way that Tesla price is going to get above 200 is if we get 2 things straightened out. One, we need to make sure that Elon's at the helm and the captain for the next 5 years. And 2, we need the Fed to actually cut some rates because cars are extremely rate sensitive. Now, the fact is, this is a car company, but with Elon Musk present, it's a massive technology innovation company. Now, the fact is that Apple took off to 220 today because they finally got their AI act together. Now, what we've got going on with Tesla is that he's the one that is pushing the AI innovation at Tesla. So if he goes away and takes his all of the AI related push with him, they are just a car company. They would just, the stock would be way overpriced. The only reason why people are giving and believing that Tesla stock should be twice what it is right now, from 200 to 400 in the future, is the innovation that Elon can bring. And he has clearly sent some signals across the heads of the shareholders that if you don't pay me, I am going to walk away and I'm going to make $1 billion AI company. He'll spin off so fast, shareholders will be shocked.
Yep.
And that's actually a really, really good point. Let me make sure my audio
Great
is on.
point.
I want to show everyone, like, when they proposed this pay package for Elon years ago, and just to give you a summary, they thought it was so ridiculous that he would even sign up for it because he needed to 10x the market cap. Now, he did it, more than did it. And I want to just bring you the receipts on it. like we always do. Pay attention to this. This is CNBC Squawk Box. You might have watched this show before in 2018.
Subject to the column telling me he's now agreed to stay on as CEO of Tesla for the next decade. There's been a lot of speculation that he'd be stepping down in the next 2 or 3 years. He had said that once the completion of the Model S, or the Model 3 rather, was up and running, that he might not stay at the company, at least as the CEO. But Tesla now announcing a radical new compensation plan. It could be perhaps the most radical compensation plan in history. Musk's compensation is going to be tied directly to the company's performance. The executive will receive no guaranteed compensation of any kind at all. He gets no salary, cash bonus, equity. He only gets equity that vests over time, but only if he reaches these hurdle rates, which are, dare I say, crazy. So right now the company's worth $59 billion. Mm-hmm. They run at $50 billion increments. So if he gets the company to $100 billion...
Wait, you're just talking market capitalization, not based on revenue, not based on the number of production?
There's going to be two metrics at each step. So the first step is he has to get the company to $100 billion and reach these operational and adjusted EBITDA and revenue number. If he doesn't get either of them, he gets nothing.
That's kind of a weird way to break it down based on market capitalization.
If he gets to 150... and has to hit the operational numbers.
But, I mean, the market can be irrational, so you can't control that.
At each $50 billion number.
Wait. Do I have to cool them off? Let's go and check the market cap of Tesla right now, because I don't know if you heard it, but they just said that he needed to take the company up 10 times. And when you look at the market cap right now, it is at $575 billion. I did hear rumors and numbers about 650. But they did get to over $1 trillion in 2021. I also heard that he can get 1% of the company for every $50 billion that it goes up. Family, listen, they have him in such a contract with so many small pieces and parts that every time he hits the goal, they try to move it back to the point that the people who are the angel investors, when he started the company or at least got in to grow it, they are now switching up on him. And I hate to see it. And I would hate to see something happen that divides Elon Musk's attention even more than Twitter already is, and taking it away from Tesla, because Tesla still has not reached its potential. And what is Tesla's potential? Those robo-taxis. Family, that will change the entire world. Let's go to stocks.
Pull this up, Tina.
Can I?
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, well, just one more thing I wanted to say that, go ahead. Let Larry go ahead, and I'll just chime in after
Larry,
him.
I'm going to pull you up, but everybody, we are so close to having 1,000 likes. And notice how the likes go up and then the viewership goes up, because YouTube will, I swear, every 10 likes, it'll send it to half a person. So 20 likes, we might get a new person in here, family.
Half a person.
We might get a new person here. Hit that like button, baby. Larry, we're going to pull you right up.
Pull me up. Look at that. 2 days ago, I took this poll, and look at what most people say. Should Elon get his pay package? 84% says yes. It's simple. No one will be mad except the people that change the rules. You know, it's just that simple, right? Tesla, I said this. I'm telling you guys, I said this at the beginning of the year, and Josh will probably agree with me. All these guys, this will be the year to buy Tesla. I'm telling you guys, this will be the year to buy Tesla. If you don't buy Tesla this year, then you're never going to have this opportunity again. I listened to the CEO of Ford. I listened to the CEO of GM. The number one area that cars are growing are, and I just drove one, it's half electric, half gas. What's the name of it? Hybrids. The hybrids are the number one growing segment in the car industry. Hybrids. Why? Because people are getting off of gas and they're going to electric, but they're not fully committed to electric yet. It's going to take time. Listen, 1,000 years from now, there will be oil. Okay, what they did was governors like out in L.A. He was just too gun ho. He was ridiculous. You know, all electric vehicles by 2030 and by 2035. That was never going to happen that quick. But the area of automobiles that have the biggest future is still electric. The reason why this is the year to buy is because this is the year they're going to get beat down the most. I'm telling you guys. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to throw this comment out, Keenan, before we move on from Tesla, that we're in a situation where the bad news has been priced in. Okay. Tesla stock is waiting for good news, waiting for potential rate cuts, waiting for Elon's package to get, confirmed. But the bad news has been priced in. So what does that look like to me? We were pricing that in when we dropped from 200 all the way down to 140, a $60 drop over the course of just a handful of months at the beginning of this year. They were pricing it all in right then. Then it got oversold. It got overheated. The bears needed to get the shots from Keenan's gun to cool them off. And the Wall Street did come in and say, pump your brakes, bears. This is as far as you're going to go for now. Then we rocketed back up to 200. Now we're sitting at 170 to 175, 177 for a long time, moving sideways. If it doesn't get approved, we will get another smackdown, and that would be as low as 160, with even the possibility of 150 being hit. Okay. But I'm going to tell you that in my view, you're going to see people flood back in at that price. And all it's going to look like from a technical perspective is that we made a higher low, which is a bullish indicator in the charts. And so don't get it mixed up. You know, the Tesla stock has been holding up extremely well. Once we got that heated oversold zone, it's been holding very well. I think a lot of the bad news has been priced in. I'm not convinced that the vote that he's going to get his pay package. You know, maybe I'm falling subject to some of the FUD. I've been reading article after article of large investment firm coming out saying they're not going to give it to him. They voted against it. So I don't know how it's going to turn out. But the fact is, if it doesn't go his way, I think they kind of already have priced that in. And Tesla stock's waiting for good news. I agree with what Larry said. If you're at all interested in betting on Elon and betting on Tesla and betting on innovation and betting on the guy that gave the initial funding that got Chat GPT off the ground, and really it can go to his credit that he put the paperbacks to the birth of AI. Open Chat GPT was the one that got everybody excited, and it was his money out of his pocket that got them the liquidity that they needed to keep the lights on. And of course, then he took a step away from the table. The Microsoft CEO came in and gave him $10 billion when Elon said, I don't got any more money for you. But the fact is, this man is a king innovator, and I think the bad news has been priced in. And I agree with Larry that if you're going to buy the stock, you want to buy it under $200. And I'm going to give it to the family, Larry, and I bet you might agree with this. And Mo, if you don't buy Tesla under 180, then you have lost all permission. You're going to get 2 squirts from Keenan. You're not allowed to buy it.
That's what I'm talking about, Josh.
Hey, I got 3 Tesla predictions, and it's like this. Number 1, Tesla will go lower. Number 2, this will be the year to buy Tesla. Number 3, Elon and Donald Trump will actually become friends, and there will be a deal worked out, just like Bitcoin and Donald Trump. I'm just telling you guys the truth. And I don't want to go political, but I believe he's going to win. But I believe the knee-jerk reaction just before, and it's happening now, is EV, the whole EV industry is getting spanked. But I do believe it's going to go lower. But mark my word, you're going to see a picture soon with Donald Trump and Elon Musk, and watch what happened to Tesla when it hits 400. Just like Josh said, you're going to wish you bought it under 180.
I want to take a second to remind everybody that the Stock Squad Patreon is available for you to join so that you can learn how to trade, so that you can get the buy alerts, and you can knock it out of the park with us. We often make videos and we tell you about how we trade, but if you come down there, you're going to be able to get in on the trades before they run with us. The link for that is in the very top of the description. Now, I also want to say, I seen somebody ask in the comments, and shout out to everybody sending the super chats. You know how many water guns I could buy with those super chats? Thank you. And also thank you for hitting the like, because we are almost at 1,000 quicker than I've ever seen. So I really appreciate you for that. And I want to say this. Somebody had asked, and I'll see if I can find it, but I might not be able to. Why are they not shorting NVIDIA? And the same way that they're shorting GameStop or the same way that they're shorting AMC. The reason being, NVIDIA is actually like sort of like a black swan event where if you look on hindsight, you probably could have seen it coming, but almost nobody really saw it coming on a mass scale. So they're actually making the amount of money that justifies their market cap, and they intend to make more versus something that can run up like a meme stock, for example. This is why NVIDIA doesn't fit into the meme stock category, because the revenue doesn't often match the stock price. But when you look at the PE of some of these things that might run up, you might see 1,000, you might see 500. But when you look at NVIDIA, it's like 70. And the forward PE, the price to earnings ratio, which tells us if something is expensive to buy or not, it's like 30 or 40. So it's in the range of the tech stocks that are huge, just like NVIDIA. And I honestly believe that NVIDIA might become the first $5 trillion company. It doesn't mean it's going to happen tomorrow. It doesn't mean that's going to happen overnight. But when you look at the market cap, it's $3 trillion. Just like a year and a half ago, it might have been 300 billion or 200 billion. It has 10x from being a mega cap company. And Apple has just reclaimed number 2 spot. It was number 1 for like 10 minutes today. And Microsoft pushed back up to the number 1 spot. But NVIDIA, Apple, or Microsoft, I wouldn't be surprised if one of the 3 becomes the first $5 trillion company. But remember, they're all really going to push up together. And Google, I actually loaded up on some of this today, and I had alerted the people and the rest of the family in the stock squad that they are just now starting to catch up on the artificial intelligence space. And I want to actually show you a quick trick, because I always like to give everybody something practical to look up. So let's try to do this together. I'm going to go and Google Apple forward PE and take a look at this. You can now Google forward PE on any stock. It works on every one that I traded. I like to give you something practical when you come to my videos that you can use going forward. And it tells you that Apple's forward PE, before you'd have to go to different websites to find this, it's telling you that it's 25, right? Which is right in line with the S&P 500. So the AI now on Google is now answering questions about stocks and their fundamentals. So you didn't have to go to a website. You just get it directly from the AI source. So use that when you're looking to see if a company is expensive or not. Let's actually switch it up and let's look it up with, I don't know, Tesla. TSLA. Stock forward PE is generating it, and it says that it's 58. So like Josh was just saying, like Larry was just saying, it's really not overvalued in that way. And you know what? I want to actually ask Mo, how do you feel about Tesla as a company right now, or Elon and his pay package stuff?
That's easy, man. You ain't sending me out. You're sending me to school teaching for a year, making an agreement you're going to pay me, and then not pay me. Pay the man. Imagine you going to work for a week, a month, a year. You have an agreement. You do what you were supposed to do. Then they say, sorry, we don't like how much we were going to pay you. Why don't you go ahead and renegotiate this bad boy? I don't think so. Okay, we can renegotiate after we're done, after you pay me, after the contract's done. That's my opinion on that. But let's get into where I see Tesla going. I think they need to pay him. I think a happy Elon is a happy stockholder. I think the future is so bright for Tesla that you won't be talking about NVIDIA, Apple being these huge market caps, the biggest in the world. You'll be talking about Tesla. You heard me right, family. If Tesla does this correctly, they master the robo-taxi. They master I think the robotics industry. I think that is a much, much bigger with the use of AI, which Elon is working on. Put it all together. I believe that you could see easily Tesla getting into that multi-trillion-dollar market cap level. 3 trillion? I see no reason why not. If they continue to innovate and dominate and let Elon cook, we will see good things.
I had to almost cool you down with that big super chat, Larry, but I appreciate it nonetheless. Thank you for sponsoring this war for financial literacy. We want to make the people, the family, the members, the supporters, all financially literate. That is so important to all of us. Larry,
listen,
go ahead.
Listen, good people. I'm going to say this, and y'all say he always get mushy. I see this man, Keenan Grace. Y'all have no idea how much money, time, and effort he puts into others. And brother, that's all I'm gonna say. I ain't even gonna. It just like Keenan's the real deal. So let's keep it moving. That's all I gotta say, man. God's got a big crown for you, brother.
I appreciate you for that. I really do, and I know you mean that, and I accept that from the bottom of my heart. I've often had trouble accepting praise from others, but this time I'm gonna do my best to. I thank you for that. And I wanted to ask Josh, by the way, about crypto. But before you speak on it, Josh, let's just show everybody the crypto bubbles and see the wreckage and carnage that we're looking at in the crypto market. Notice how we're not hearing about crypto very much, but Josh has a show in his Technical Tuesdays over on his page where he talks about crypto and things that people aren't looking at while they are currently falling down. So Josh, could you give us some insight on something that we might want to look at going forward with crypto?
Well, okay, so I want to keep this as simple as possible so that everybody can understand. Today, on a smaller time frame on my charts, I got a sell signal on Bitcoin, okay? But it's come up before the S&P 500. If you guys remember, Bitcoin was actually driving a little bit quicker and a little bit faster than the S&P over the last 2 weeks. Now, I just told you that I got a sell signal on the SPY on a smaller time frame. Okay, so I am expecting tomorrow for the S&P 500 and Bitcoin and the NASDAQ, which have gotten into general alignment, I'm expecting for some more cool off. Now, max support level for me on Bitcoin is 64K. In general, in the very same way that I believe that the S&P 500 is going to push higher and get to 5,500, the SPX, I also think that Bitcoin is going to go back and make an attempt at 74. Now, I even think that the area that could reach, if these markets got super hot in one 24-hour window, it could get as high as 77. So I want everybody to know that in a smaller time frame, more of an hourly time frame or a 12-hour time frame, we do have a sell signal, which is indicating that Bitcoin's going to roll over a little bit. Where could it roll over and hit? Maybe 64. The SPY is going to roll over a little bit, maybe drop the SPX, maybe drop 50 points. But ultimately, we're still in a clearly defined uptrend on Bitcoin. And I think that we are still moving towards the destination of a 74K attempt again. And I will have to gauge it when we get closer to that moment to see whether or not we will peak and get to 77. But I will say that Bitcoin dominance, right? We've talked about this before. When Bitcoin is dominant, more money is going to stay in it. It's not until Bitcoin gets a rejection candle, has a very bearish confirmation, that people begin to take some of their money out of Bitcoin, big profit taking temporarily. And that's when you see it run into the altcoins. And that's when you get an altcoin rally. And I'm still predicting that in the same way that I think the Bitcoin and the S&P are going to peak, then they're going to cool off. There's the possibility of a 10% correction over the summer and us slowly moving back into a rally as we get closer to the election. But in the summer, we might get an altcoin, a mini altcoin season. That's my general crypto overview. What do you guys think?
So I'll start with Mo. Mo, what do you got for crypto?
Well, you guys know what I've been doing. Been absolutely killing it. We had the Ethereum, bought it at like 100 to 200, ran it all the way up to the 1,000, sold it, moved it into ETHE in April, watched it go up 60, 70% from April to May, locked it in, sold when that was in the 35s, just started buying back in the 32, 33, 34 range, and I'm going to continue buying until I get 10,000 shares of Grayscale Ethereum Trust, because we're going to have a liquidity crunch with Ethereum when these 8, make it 9 spot ETFs go live, and when they have to cover billions and billions in crypto, in Ethereum, and all this press and all this notifications, and they go out and they have to do this, you're going to have a liquidity crunch. And the market's going to feel it, and the price is going to go higher. People are going to run in. It's going to be gas on the fire. It's going to be gas on the fire, because you're going to have all this money, billions rolling in. All of a sudden, Ethereum's running FOMO kicks in. Man, I want to go to Keenan's party. I've never been invited. I want to go. And then we all show up. We're rolling. I'm like, man, this is better than I thought it was. It runs up. We hit 5,000 to 10,000 on Ethereum. And then the cops show up and the party's over. So what I'm telling you is this. I don't think it's a question of if the market's going to run up, if Ethereum's going to run up, if the altcoins are going to run up, if Bitcoin's going to run. The answer is yes. Have a plan to get out. Have a trailing stop loss. Do something to prepare to take those gains, because the people who are going to pay, who are going to hold the bags, are those getting in at the top, not those getting in before. We got in back when Ethereum was in the hundreds. We have been selling and buying, actively trading properly, and I'm going to continue to do that, and I will be a crypto millionaire before Ethereum hits 10,000, and I remember starting with just $100. Let's go.
So I got a quick question for everybody. So back in like 2018, Larry Fink, who was the CEO of BlackRock, the largest asset manager in the world, Larry Fink said that crypto was kind of like a scam, right? And it was trash, especially Bitcoin. And was Larry Fink right? Or is Larry Fink right? And he says that it's actually a great investment. It's kind of like gold. So who's right, Larry Fink or Larry Fink? I'm trying to figure it out. I personally, I'm going with Larry Fink. I don't know about you.
Yeah, Larry. No, I think Larry Fink had it right. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of think Larry Fink got it right.
Yeah.
Oh my
Can
God.
Keenan, when Larry's done, I want to say something about, Larry Fink, okay? So let me just lay this out. I've been talking about it. This is such a major event, what I'm going to share right now. We're talking about a huge change to the space that the four of us are in, and that everybody else here is trying to get their foot into Wall Street. Well, where is that foot going to be? There's a big move by BlackRock and Citadel to launch a new exchange over in Texas. Now, why is this significant? Because the fact is there is a duopoly between the NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange. And the only reason why the NASDAQ even came into being was because the New York Stock Exchange was so dang slow to adapt technology that they got themselves in a pickle when the NASDAQ came along and said, you know what, we're going to do electronic ledger. We're not going to literally have some guys go, buy, 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 sell, 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 not doing all this stuff. And so then the NASDAQ was born. But here's the problem. The NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange have been caught sleeping again. And Larry Fink, right, is seeing that one of the biggest opportunities of his career is to get together with Citadel, which is the major clearinghouse for the New York Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ, and to fund a new stock exchange over in Texas with the opportunity of putting real world assets, stocks and bonds on the ledger, on the blockchain. This is going to be huge. Apple's going to trade 24/7, but let me outline the problem for you guys. So I want you to understand the conflict that this is going to create. One, it sent alarm bells at the NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange to figure out what they're doing, fire some people, hire some engineers, and get themselves going towards crypto, towards the blockchain. Now, the Texas exchange, these guys are going to be way ahead of them putting these assets. And what that's going to do is it's going to be a division of liquidity. So right now, the duopoly between the two major exchanges, there's a split of liquidity. So Apple is listed on the NASDAQ and Apple is listed on the New York Stock Exchange. And now we're going to have the potential of it being listed in a third location, which means that all the potential buyers and sellers have gone to 3 camps rather than 2. This is the major change. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on this.
Well, I have something to say about it. So BlackRock, Keenan and I spoke at the NASDAQ, and Josh is absolutely right. Even when we spoke, they were launching new tools for you to use digitally that is way more advanced than the New York Stock Exchange. We also, the 3 of us, were at the New York Stock Exchange. They ain't let us in though, Josh, did they? But we were there in front of the bull.
That's right.
But listen to this. BlackRock, 10 trillion assets, right? Want to start their own. He partners with Citadel, right? Deep pockets. Now they want to bring trading to Texas, right? What else does BlackRock own a ton of. Now the number one holder of Bitcoin. Exactly.
Yep.
Now, what else do they own? All of the Bitcoin miners, correct? So they own a piece of just about all but one of the Bitcoin miner major shareholders, and they own Bitcoin. What do they manage? They manage the retirement accounts, right? You know, I'm just using examples. The police, the firemen, the teachers, retirement accounts. That's what they manage, okay? Asset managers. So you best believe they're going to suggest to their accounts to start adding Bitcoin to their balance sheets, to their portfolios. That's where this is leading. And so that's why it all makes sense in the crypto space. And lastly, one of the things that Larry Fink says that he absolutely loves is blockchain technology. I'll leave it right there.
With that being said, everyone, we are the Stock Squad. This week is absolutely insane. We are looking to get in some more plays. Scroll down to the description and join the Stock Squad Patreon so you can be up on the plays with us. Hit the like on your way out and throw a heart in the chat for all of us, family. I love y'all, and we'll see y'all in the next one. Take care.